Let me ask you something. What if the secret to making money in the markets isn't about finding the perfect strategy, but about mastering your own mind? Well, we're going to compress 14 years of hard-won wisdom from a top trader into 5 critical lessons that could totally change the game for you. Let's dive in. So, first things first, is this guy the real deal? You bet. The trader we're learning from has pulled in $4.5 million in profit. And get this, one of his payouts was the largest in the history of his proprietary firm. So yeah, when he talks, it's probably a good idea to listen up. And right here, this is the core idea we're going to unpack today. How is that even possible? How can the exact same set of rules lead to losing money and then later to making millions? The answer, as you're about to see, has nothing to do with charts and everything to do with what's going on between your ears. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why your strategy is basically worthless on its own. Then we'll get into the discipline of boredom. After that, how to survive the dreaded death spiral. Fourth, what to do when your edge just stops working. And finally, we'll tackle the hidden danger of the grind. All right, lesson 1, and we're not pulling any punches here. Your strategy is worthless. And no, that's not an exaggeration. You could have the most perfect, back-tested system in the world, but it will absolutely fall apart the second your emotions grab the steering wheel. Does this look familiar? Because it should. This is a cycle so many of us get trapped in. You see that perfect A+ setup, but you hesitate, you're scared. Then, of course, you watch it take off without you, and that regret just eats you up. So what happens next? You jump into a cracky marginal trade to try and revenge trade your way back, and you just lose again. It's this horrible, vicious cycle, and it's driven 100% by emotion. Okay, so how do you break out of that loop? The solution is actually pretty simple, but it takes discipline, emotional journaling. Before you even think about clicking a button, just stop and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? If the answer isn't calm and confident, you don't trade, period. Then after the trade, win or lose, write down how you felt. Pretty soon, you'll see your patterns, like maybe anger always leads to dumb trades. The simple act of naming the emotion takes away its power. Okay, on to our second lesson, and this one is gonna shatter the Hollywood image of trading you probably have in your head. The truth is, successful trading isn't exciting. Most of the time, it's just plain boring. This slide just lays it out perfectly. The myth, what you see on social media, is this idea of constant action, taking 15 trades a day, always grinding. But the reality for a professional, it's more like 6 hours of sitting on your hands, patiently waiting for one single perfect trade that follows all your boring rules. The market doesn't pay you for being busy, it pays you for being disciplined. And boom, this quote says it all. You don't become a millionaire trader by finding some magical, exciting new setup. You do it through the painfully unglamorous work of following the same boring rules day after day for years, no exceptions. That right there is the real secret sauce. All right, lesson 3. This is something every single trader, I don't care who you are, is going to face. How you handle this moment is what decides if you're in this for the long haul or if you're just a tourist. We're talking about how to survive the psychological death spiral of a losing streak. So what exactly is a death spiral? It's that dark place you go when you stop trading your system and you start trading just to make back what you lost. That desperation makes you take worse trades with bigger size, and that's a toxic cocktail that can erase months of hard work in a couple of bad days. It's not the market that takes you out, it's your own ego refusing to just take the L. So how do you stop it before it starts? You need circuit breakers, hard, non-negotiable rules that you follow no matter what. These 3 are absolute lifesavers. 2 losses in one day, you're done. Shut the computer off, go for a walk. 3 losing trades in a row, you cut your position size in half for the entire next week to get your confidence back. And for the love of God, do not sit there watching your P&L go up and down all day. That's just asking for trouble. Now for lesson 4. This is a bit more of an advanced idea, but it's absolutely crucial for long-term survival. Here's the hard truth. No strategy works forever. Markets change, and you have to be ready for the day when your edge just dies. I love this analogy. Your strategy isn't who you are. It's just a tool. And like a gallon of milk, it has an expiration date. The traders who make a career out of this, the survivors, they treat their strategies like perishable goods. They're always checking to see if it's starting to go bad. So how do you know if your edge is getting stale? Simple. You let the data tell you, not your gut. This table shows you exactly what to track. You're not just looking at your P&L. You're watching your core stats, like your win rate or your profit factor. When you see the numbers from your last 50 trades start to look way different than your long-term baseline, that's a huge red flag that something fundamental might be changing in the market.
And this all leads to a really clear 4-step process for survival. You track everything. You review your stats every single week. You investigate the changes to figure out if it's just normal ups and downs or something bigger. And then, and this is the tough part, you have to be willing to pivot. You have to be ready to let go of what used to work and adapt.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most important lesson. All this stuff, it's mentally draining. The constant focus, the pressure, it leads to burnout. And that's why recovery isn't some luxury. It's a core skill for any serious performer.
See, mental fatigue is sneaky. It's not like lifting weights where your muscles get sore. Instead, it's just this slow, quiet decay in how well you make decisions. You start making little mistakes, you cut a winner too early, you let a loser run a bit too far. It's death by 1,000 cuts, and usually don't even realize you're burned out until you've already done some serious damage to your account.
So the answer is to be intentional about your recovery. This isn't about being lazy, it's about staying sharp. Take a walk after you're done for the day and leave your phone behind. Write in a journal once a week to just get all the stress out. Have hobbies that have nothing to do with charts or money. And crucially, schedule time off, like a 3 to 5 day break completely away from the screens every single month. It's non-negotiable. And this quote just wraps it all up perfectly. Think about it. Professional athletes have an off season. Your brain needs one too. The goal here isn't to just grind yourself into dust. It's to build a career based on sustainable excellence. And rest is a massive part of that equation. So there you have it, the 5 biggest psychological traps that trip up most traders. Letting emotions run the show, confusing action with progress, falling into a death spiral, not adapting when your edge dies, and just plain burnout. So I'll leave you with this question. Take a second and be honest with yourself. Which one of those is holding you back the most right now?